Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope everyone is doing well. It is Wednesday, February 19th, and we are back at it live here on all these platforms. So I'm hoping that everybody is just doing great. Everybody's having a wonderful day. Um, we're going to keep talking about the patterns. Of course, this is Dr. Rogers with Grace and Mercy. We are learning from our textbook, Sowing Seeds. So if you have your textbook, wonderful. If you don't, I'm still giving you a little time so you can catch up and join the class so you can be a part of what we're learning, this wonderful journey that we're on. And also you can grow with us spiritually. This journey is not just for me, it's for all of us. All right, y'all with me? So I'm very happy to see that everyone is here. Everyone, is well. And I just want to get to it. So we are in chapter, let's see here. We are still in chapter 3. And chapter 3 consists of talking about patterns. So if you have your textbook, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about patterns in your Sowing Seeds textbook. So if you got your textbook, wonderful. If you don't, I need you to go grab it. If you haven't purchased it yet, get it out of TikTok Shop, or you can go to all these other platforms and get your textbook. It is called Sowing Seeds, Sewing Seeds, and it's also in the bio in my bio, and it is hi K Spades. How you doing? It is in my bio, and it is also hold on, you sent a join? Okay. Let me see. Let me get you, girl. I'll get you on here. Hold on, let's see. Invite. I don't mind connecting, so that's one thing you ain't gotta worry about it. I'm gonna say hey. I'm all for speaking. I'm all for acknowledging everybody. Hi, C Star Valdez and 92%. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like I was saying, we are talking about the book Sowing Seeds. Sowing Seeds can be found in TikTok Shop. It can be found on Walmart.com. You can find it in my bio. There's a link to the website in my bio. This book is available, and actually, I was able to edit it before I had copyrighted, and it's much thicker than this now. So when you order it, if you order it today or whenever, just know that you are going to be very, very, very pleased with the product that you get. So I'm on here teaching about sewing. And so we made it through chapter 1, which was the introduction to sewing and the equipment. We made it through chapter 2, which was talking about measurements. Now we're in chapter 3. We're continuing chapter 3, which talks about cutting your patterns and creating your own patterns. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to keep talking about creating our own patterns. We're going to keep talking about measurements as well, because measurements are needed when we make patterns and when we cut our fabric. So I'm going to go back to chapter 3 in my Sowing Seeds textbook. And when we're cutting patterns, what we need our fabric scissors. We need muslin when you are creating your own pattern. You need muslin, you need fabric scissors. You also need your measuring tape, and you're going to need a permanent marker. And the reason we need that permanent marker is because we want to make sure we label. Y'all, I had my permanent marker. I don't know how to keep misplacing, but we want to make sure we label everything that we write on, everything that we cut, because fabric, the patterns are different from male and female because our bodies are made differently. So you want to make sure that you label all of your fabric. I'm going to go over yesterday's class briefly. Hey, you guys, welcome, 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 Karen, welcome, Gianna, welcome, Bree, welcome, Shari and Jana, and Soap 141. I hope you guys are doing great. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the live. So what I'm going to do really quick, I'm going to go back over the patterns that I cut on yesterday and the day before yesterday. And the reason I'm going to do that is because today we are actually going to cut a pattern. I have some extra fabric laying around here, and I actually think I'm going to go ahead and use some of my good fabric that I was actually going to use on a formal garment, but I'm going to use it today for this live, for the live, and actually just to show you guys how it's done. Hey Bree, hey Bamazilla, thank you Madison, hi Cassie, hi Jessica, welcome you guys. I thank you guys so much for attending the live, and thank y'all for just hopping on here, even if you're here for a brief second. I appreciate it. So what I want to do, I'm going over these patterns really quick, okay? So on yesterday and the day before, we went over the making of a dress pattern. I put my size on here. At the time, I was a size 8. Right now, I'm 13. I'm happy to be a 13. But this was a size 8, and it has the word dress here. I identified the product, the pattern that I'm going to use. Here on this side, you see where I wrote 1-inch seam allowance. So this is just my reminder to myself to always leave room. Thanks, Madison. To always leave room on the edges of my material when I cut my fabric for a seam allowance, because you always want to leave room for error. And then I also have that here at the bottom to allow 1-inch seam allowance. I always give myself 2 extra inches just because I don't want to need that 1 inch and still need some more. So leaving room for error is probably the wisest thing I will ever tell you. So just make note of that. And like I said, if you don't have your textbook, your Sewing Seeds textbook, you can get it in TikTok Shop or on Walmart.com, or go in my bio and click the link there, and it will take you to the website where you can purchase it there too. But on this dress pattern, you see that I have CF. The CF stands for center fold. So a center fold is when you're taking the actual fabric that you're going to use to make your material. You take that fabric and you fold it in half. And I'm going to show this to you. You're going to fold it in half to where the undisturbed, unseparated part of the material is actually still like right there in the middle. So I just took this fabric and I am folding it in half. When I fold it in half, my center fold is this right here. This is a center fold. When you're cutting garments and you just say, for instance, it's a pant leg, it's a sleeve, it's a skirt, it's a dress, you're always going to have a center fold unless it is in your design to have the material cut down the middle where you're sewing, like you're doing what's it called, color block or something like that. So it just depends on your creativity and what you're making. So I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. I ain't gonna sugarcoat. Y'all, it's Ashley. So Ashley with Grace and Mercy. What you see is what you get. So that is the center fold of the fabric. So you always want to remember to cut first before you begin to cut. You want to make sure you fold your fabric in half. Make sure you have a center fold. And also, most importantly, you want to fold your fabric on the stretch. So this material doesn't have any give in it. But when you get ready to prepare to cut your fabric, you must fold your centerfold, have your centerfold and fold on the stretch to where the material stretches from side to side. If you cut your fabric and it's not cut where the stretch is from side to side, then you're going to end up with a very tight, non-giving garment. Hi, Mr. Worth. You're going to end up with a non-giving garment that's not going to give no stretch. Your client might complain, well, it's not fitting my body the way I want to. It's not moving with me. So always make sure that you cut on the stretch. Cut on the stretch. Make sure before you do anything, pull that material. If it's given, then you got the right thing going for you. You got it right, okay? All right. So we were talking about the dress and the centerfold. So if I were to make a dress, I would make sure my material stretch side to side first, and then I would fold my material where the centerfold is. Now, there are times where you will not have to fold the material exactly edge to edge. And it just depends on your measurements. So if you don't have to fold it edge to edge, which there will be times that you don't have to, you can take that material, fold it to wherever you need it to go, where like it could be folded like this. It could be, if you got like a size 0 client, then you definitely won't have to use the full edge to edge fold on the fabric. And that way you still have extra fabric to use to do other things with. So I want y'all to take note of that. Make sure you take note of that. Not all the time will you use the entire yard of fabric when you're folding it to make your cuts. Okay? Thank you guys for just interacting with me. I appreciate the interaction. Like that gives me a little whoosah. Let's see. Dang, she said my name without stuttering. I'm glad I said it right. I try my best not to murder people's names because I'm telling you, people used to mess up my name all the time. And I'm like, how do you get Ashley wrong? It's so easy. L-E-Y, Lee. So, but I'm going to keep moving. So, we talked about the dress and the centerfold pattern. And you guys, you can make your own pattern. And even if you don't have the money to go buy the fabric, like the muslin from the store, if you have an old garment at your house that you don't wear, like a shirt, a pair of pants, a dress, like anything, you have patterns in your house. Whatever you wear was made from a pattern. So you can take that, whatever you're not wearing, and hi, Julian. You can take whatever garment you don't wear anymore, and you can cut that baby up and use that as your pattern. But I always advise, make sure, I can't find my marker. Make sure that you use a marker, a permanent marker, or something to write on it to identify. Like if it's just a female garment, then you know it's a female garment. But definitely put the size on it. If it was a man's shirt and it's like you have male and females in your household and you know that you're going to be making something for both sexes, then you need to identify that garment. You put female top, male top, and put the size of that actual garment that you used on there so that you can actually make sure you don't grab the wrong pattern. Yes, some products that we wear, they are made from the same shapes. But remember, the male body is totally different from the female body. Okay? All right, so now we're going to move on to the short sleeve. I'm just trying to go over this as quick as I can. We're going to move, we're going to go over the short sleeve. Now the short sleeve, well, not short sleeve, but it's a long sleeve. But if you can look closely, I have dots here. These dots identify short sleeve, quarter length sleeve, and then you have a full long sleeve. And then I have sleeve, center fold. Every piece of material that you cut, every product that you make, you will be dealing with a center fold. 99.99999% of the time, there will be a center fold involved. So make sure that when you cut your pattern now, like for me, all of my patterns were made from my old garment that I had. I cut it. I got me some muslin from, I think I went to Joann or Walmart or somewhere and got my muslin, and I cut it and I identified it. So make sure you don't have to cut exact. Let me just reiterate that. Some people think, oh, I got to cut this exactly how it is, how this is on the table. No, you don't. You don't. It's okay if you got a little extra there and you messed up on your cut. It's okay, because look at this. I want to show you something. When I hold my dress pattern up and I put this up against me and I put my sleeve pattern on here connected. Sorry, you guys. When I connect my sleeve and my dress pattern, when I sew it together, it's still going to come together as a full garment. So you don't have to be, so your cut does not have to be exact, okay? So just remember that. All right, so this was a large sleeve that I cut then. So now here you have the back of a pant leg. Now this is a female pant leg. This is not a man's pant leg. This is a female pant leg. And so here you can see it's a size 8. Well, that's everybody's opinion, Kathleen. I appreciate you saying that. The reason I put emphasis on a centerfold is because when you're making a dress, you don't want to, like when you're making a dress and it's going to be full in the front, why would you not have a centerfold? I think it's very important. And for those who are beginning, that's wonderful. That's awesome, Kathleen. Kathleen's baby, I'm sorry. But the centerfold, I'm just gonna say for those of you who are just starting out, and Bree, that's good to know. So remember, make sure, and it's just as a reminder for you. You want to remind yourself, I gotta make sure I have my centerfold. Write that on your pattern, okay? Because when you go buy a pattern from the store, they got directions. I've been taking things. Kathleen, it's okay. Don't be upset. Do not be upset. Because anything that's been, you say I have been taking things, so I'm a little upset. Don't be upset. I got nothing but love for you. You are a blessed girl. Keep your head up. Whatever's going on is going to get better. It does not last always. I promise you it doesn't. Everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. So don't let whatever obstacles are there, whatever's going on, don't let that overcome you. That's just a trick of the enemy. Don't give in to it. Because we can get consumed by the things that are going on and forget that life is still going and that better is still coming. So it's okay. It's okay. I'm here for you. No matter what, I'm here for you. So if you need to inbox me. I'll talk to you. But it's okay. I promise you it's okay. So here we have the back pant leg. And the back pant leg is different from the front. And the reason I say it's different from the front is because in the front you have more of a curve. Because a female body, we made different from the men. Men need extra material in the front. We don't need that much as much as them. So you got to remember that curve is there in the front. But I'll show you the front pant leg in just a second. So this is a size 8. I have it identified as back pant leg. And then I actually have my dots that remind me that I can use this for short pants. I can use this for knee length, or you say Bermuda shorts. I can use capris, or I can do a long pant. And I also have my allow 1-inch seam allowance. I have that on all of my patterns because I don't want to forget to make sure I have seam allowance. Leaving room for error. I'm big on that. Leave room for all kinds of error because we make mistakes. We human. We're not perfect. All right, and then here I have my front pant leg. I have a line straight down the middle, and this is just for me. This is for me and my centerfold. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to make your own material, make your own pattern, go for it. But like for those of us starting out, identify, right? Communicate with yourself. That's what you're doing. You communicate with yourself. So when you lay this down on the table, it's almost like you having a conversation with yourself. Okay, this a pant leg. I need to make sure I got my centerfold. I got to make sure I leave some some seam allowance, and then you got your dots to identify your short pants, your knee length, or Bermuda shorts. I love Bermuda shorts, and then you got your full length pants. So what I put a lot of emphasis on that. When you communicate with yourself and you make notes on your patterns, I'm telling you, those notes come in handy, just having them there, because it's the reminders that mean a lot. Because when we start out and it's not something that we're creatures of habit doing, we forget. We do. It's human nature. We forget. So just so you don't forget, write on your patterns. I have had these muslin patterns for about, about 7 years. This muslin has come through for me, and I love this stuff. It doesn't have any give or anything, but I've used these patterns I don't know how many times, and they still work for me. Women are to wear dress, modest apparel, professing character of the Most High. Pants are not for. Thank you. I'm gonna just say Yashar L. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate that. But to each his own. I mean, God is not gonna condemn us because we wear pants today. As long as you dress with integrity and you represent him with integrity, you'll be fine. He's not judging us based off of us wearing pants. I mean, but like I said, everybody has an opinion, you know. But thank you for your time. You can keep scrolling to the next live if you want to. It's okay. It's totally fine. So, but I do appreciate your comment. Okay, thank you. Jesus did not come to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. So, I mean, hey, we're gonna keep on moving because that's a good note. We'll talk about that at church. So right here we have a back pocket. And so the way I got this back pocket, I went and I cut one of my husband's old work shirts because it was the pocket on the front was the exact same shape as the pocket on the back of a female pants. So I just cut this. It says back pocket, but it can be used as a front pocket as well. And here we have the pockets for your pants or a skirt. The way I made this pocket, I just took my hand, laid it on the muslin, and just traced the mitten around my hand. That's all I did. And it was so easy. I did one for the back and one for the top. Julian, you're funny. I know, right? I'm gonna get in trouble. That's all right. I love pockets with skirts. I mean, skirts with pockets too, especially deep pockets. And that was why I made this pocket so big because I love deep pockets. I want to be able to throw my keys in there or throw my card or my cell phone in there, or and be confident enough knowing that it ain't gonna fall out. Because a lot of companies nowadays, they make the pockets so small that whatever you put in, once you start walking, it slides out. So I'm not trying to lose. That's right. I'm telling you, having a skill under your belt, having a skill that'll make you money anyway, is the best thing going because prices are going up everywhere. And if you know how to do stuff yourself, say you're a gardener, you know how to grow plants, grow flowers are plants, but grow vegetables and stuff like that. That is a wonderful skill to have. If you're a seamstress, it's a wonderful skill to have because guess what? You can provide a service to the community and you can make money and build your own empire. And so, hey, that's why I'm like, I want to teach people as much as I can, as much as I know, so that they can take that knowledge and go build their own empires themselves. Welcome, Demetrio. Hope you're doing great. So this is a front pant or a skirt pocket or a dress pocket, whichever one you want to sew it on. And so I have two panels that I made for this, the front and the back. But honestly, I could have just took the front. Oh, anytime, Bree. I could have just took the front, did it for this side, and then just flipped it over and did it for that side. Because one thing about me, I want to make sure my pockets are comfortable. Not only deep, I want to make sure they're comfortable. When I put my hand in there, even if I just want to walk with my hands in my pocket, I want to make sure that my pockets feel like, oh, this all right. So that's just how I am about the things that I wear and the things that I make. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever I make for a client, I want to make sure that it's comfortable, that it's something that I wouldn't mind saying that, dang, I want to wear that, or wow, that feel good. So all I can say to y'all is that once you start making your own products, telling you, it's going to be a game changer, a real game changer. Welcome, totally. Camille, Hustle Baby, Demetrio, Jolly Bee. I hope you guys are doing great. All right, so now we're going to get to the circle pattern. The circle skirt. So the circle skirt can be used for, I don't know what that means. Jollibee. Hopefully it's not an inappropriate comment. But now we're gonna get to the circle skirt. The circle skirt, you gotta use a calculator, a little bit different, but that's okay. But when you're making a circle skirt pattern, you're gonna lay your muslin out on the table. And you're gonna start at the corner of the fabric. So if I were to get my muslin, which I just had, oh here it is. So if I were to get my muslin and I was going to make a circle skirt pattern, you see I have corner to corner, right? I'm going to start at a corner. And when I start at this corner, I'm going to go down about 4 inches so that I could begin my circle pattern, the drawing. So, okay, Jollibee, I'm going to come down about 4 inches so that I can start drawing my half circle. And the reason I come down about 4 inches is because I can't start a circle at a corner like this. I can't start a circle with a square with this kind. No, I can't. So you come down the corner and then you start drawing your circle like that. So I actually want to show y'all this. If I had my marker. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna do my best to show you right here. Honestly, I can. Let me do it. So I'm going to pin this on my mannequin just so I can give you a clear demonstration of what I'm doing. All right. So I have the corner of my material is right here at the corner of it's right here at the top, right? So now what I'm going to do, because I want to make a circle pattern, I'm coming down about 4 inches. I'm gonna get my measuring tape right here. You don't ever want to start at the tip of your material. Come down about 4 inches down the side. And I'm going to take a stick pin and I'm just going to stick it in this because I want to move my measuring tape when I draw. I want to move it so it'll help me make a circle. So I'm going to be able to do it like that. So, all right. So right now, well, I'm down about 5 inches, but that's okay. To each his own. So I'm going to take my permanent marker. I'm going to start right here on the corner. And I would do this on the table, but I can't really get a clear shot of it when I do it on the table for you guys to see. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to keep moving it so that I'm behind it. So it's not going to be perfect. This one ain't going to be perfect, y'all. I'm sorry. But I just want you to see this is what you'll end up doing. It's so much better doing it on the table because you can get it accurate. See, I did my best with it on the mannequin. I made a curve with this. This is going to start me on my circle skirt pattern. But you want to make sure when you have it on that you have it on a flat surface, because when you have it on a flat surface, hey, hi Ryder, hi, who's that? Ryder, hi Junebug, hi, how y'all doing today? All right, so yeah, you want to start your curve here with your circle skirt pattern, okay? And even when you're cutting your fabric to get ready to make a circle pattern, you're going to do the same thing. But I'm advising you guys to get some tailor's chalk. I can't find mine. I honestly think I used it up. Get some tailor's chalk. The tailor's chalk you can draw on the fabric with. It's just chalk and you can wipe it off like it was never there. Okay. And once you do this, once you make your circle skirt pattern, you're going to take your measuring tape and you're going to start down the side of your muslin when you're creating your own pattern. And you're going to start at that line where that curve is, and you're going to go down all the way down the side and mark it with numbers. So you'll use your measuring tape to mark it with numbers. That'll tell you how many inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down as far as you want to go. And the reason I would say go to down about 20 or something like that is because you can always expand at any time. You can, make it longer at any time, but that's just my preference. So after I number my fabric down, my muslin down the side, I'm going to also do it on the other side, on the left side of the fabric. I'm going to go down the side and I'm going to number it just like I'm doing on this side, okay? Then once I've numbered both sides, I'm going to take my measuring tape. I'm going to go straight down the middle and I'm going to write CF. That's for centerfold. And the reason I'm going to do that is because it's a reminder to make sure that I fold my fabric on centerfold before I cut it. So thank you for the follow. Thank you. Let me see how you say Negra's Creation. Thank you, love. So, but yeah, we're going to go straight down the middle so we can write centerfold there. And so after we do that, once you get all the way down to the bottom with your measuring tape, you'll be able to go around like this, like depending on your measurements. Like for me, my waist is a 35. So when you make a circle skirt pattern, you're going to take your measurement, like for me it's 35. You're going to divide it by the radius of a circle, which is 6.28. For me, that comes out to 6.05. So when I get my measurements for after I calculate it and I get my measurements for my radius around my waist, if I'm a 6.25, I'm going to come all the way down to that 6 down here. That after we number our side, we're going to come down to the 6. So you use your measuring tape. And then I'm suggesting that you get a weight. The weight, so you can get a weight just to sit on top of the measuring tape to hold it in place. Because once you get your measurement down to 6, you're going to take it and you're going to move it in a circular motion. Once you move it in a circular motion, thank you guys so much for the gifts. I really appreciate that. This was totally unexpected because I don't get on here for the gifts. I get on here to educate. So thank you guys so much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. So you're going to take your weight and just sit it up here at the tip of this. Or if you have, that's if you, you're going to sit at the tip of this if you already got your measurement and you know where you're going to start and you good, or you've already drawn your circle from side to side. Now remember, our fabric is going to be folded in half, right? And we got a centerfold. So because this right here is a half circle. Once you cut after you got your measurement, you got down to 6, like for me, and I go all the way around in a circular motion, and then I traced it while I was going around, I'm going to put that weight on top of this. I'm going to check my measurements one more time, and then I'm going to cut. When your fabric is folded in half, guess what? Once you finish cutting, you got a full circle skirt. Because right now we're just working with a half of a pattern. So I promise you, y'all, the more we talk about sewing, we're going to literally I'm going to get on this table and we're going to do some stuff together. And then I'm going to I would love to have some of you guys join me on the lives with your video on if you got a sewing machine. And I watch you and we talk about what's going on. So I'm very interactive. And so it is easy. It's much easier than people make it think, well, people make it look and say it is. But one thing about sewing, it just requires patience. That's it. Thank you, Bree. I used to be a teacher. I used to teach English. I used to teach special education. And then I have a son who has autism. So it takes a lot of patience. I'm very patient. I have to be thorough. So I don't know how not to be thorough. So, but thank you, love. I appreciate that. So yes, but I want to get everybody engaged. I'm glad you found me too. I'm gonna do my best to be consistent with hopping on the lives because I have always been terrified of getting on the lives just because people are mean and I'm not a mean person and I got tough skin. But sometimes you can only deal with so much, right? Hey, Lucille, how are you? How are you? So, but yes. So with the circle skirt pattern, we're gonna do what? We're gonna start at the corner. We're not gonna fold with the pattern. We're not gonna fold the pattern. Awesome. I'm happy to hear you doing well. We're just gonna start at that corner, come down about 4 inches, and then make a circle, half circle at the top corner of your muslin. And then once you do that, you're gonna take your measuring tape, number your sides, each side. You can go down to 30 if you want to. As far as you want to go, you can do it. And then once you get down as far as you want to with your numbers, then you're going to take your chalk or your marker or your measuring tape, and then you're going to start making your circle at the bottom so you can cut it. So then you have your circle skirt pattern. All right. So I am open to answering any questions if anybody has any questions. But I do want to reiterate, when you guys make your own patterns, you need a permanent marker. You need some scissors, good sharp fabric scissors. I can't express that enough. You hear that? Hey, Yvette. Like, get you some good sharp fabric scissors because, and make sure nobody messes with your fabric scissors. Like, I go to war about my fabric scissors because I don't want nothing on here. I don't want nobody, like, don't mess with my stuff. Like, I have to tell my kids all the time, you touch my stuff, we're going to have a problem. So they know not to mess with my stuff. But make sure you got some good fabric scissors. Make sure you got measuring tape. Make sure you have permanent marker. And like I was saying, if you're creating your own pattern, make sure you got some good muslin. Muslin, you're going to love it. I'm writing all this down. Do you have any recommendation for fabric shears? Honestly, no, because I have tried everybody's and I honestly like all the ones I've used. This one, I want to say I got this one from Joann or Hobby. No, I got this one from Hobby Lobby because it was on a clearance rack. I got about 15 pair of fabric shears, like for real. I do. And it ain't because I need them. It's just because I just want to make sure I always have a backup. And I don't like to be put in the corner and I ain't prepared for what's about to happen. So I try to make sure that I'm always prepared. But I have these. I think this is Fisker. Most of the ones I use are Fisker actually. Now I do have this one. It's a single brand. It's no different. But I do like the heavier one. This one's by Fisker. You hear the difference? Hi, Steve. Hi, Rachel. It sounds sharp. This one, it don't sound as sharp as the other one. So I'm all for Fisker. I know majority of the ones I have by are Fisker. There is another pair that I have that I ended up buying this little thing right here. It came with so much stuff in here. It came with a self-healing measuring measuring board. I don't really use it too often. It came with rotors. Now, when I'm cutting circle patterns, I love rotors. What? Why, dear? I hear you have. Okay, Michael, it's not a place for joking around. So if you want to do that, just go on and go to another live. We're here to learn. We're not here to insult people. So I love rotors. Rotors, when I say, oh my goodness, they cut so good. They super sharp. This little kit right here, I got off of eBay, and I'm gonna go back through my shopping cart. I'll find that link, and I can I'll upload it on because I'm gonna upload this, at least a clip of this, and then I'll add the links down in the down in the comments or whatever in the body. But these rotors are the bomb. Like they cut so well. And what I do, I use this majority of the time when I'm cutting circle patterns because I don't have to worry about moving my fabric. If when I'm using scissors, you know how fabric can move and shift a little bit. This little baby, boom, like that. So rotors, I love them. It also came with some extra blades in here, extra rotor blades, and came with fabric scissors. I haven't used these yet, but these are pretty good too. They heavy, like real heavy. And I like how shiny they are because I love me some gold and glitter and stuff. It also came with fabric, like the thread scissors. This allows you to cut down close. Hi, S. Jones. It allows you to cut down close to the fabric. Like when you're cutting excess thread and stuff that's sticking up and you don't want to cut your material, you got some of these. And then it comes with some universal spools. Excuse me. So, and it comes with an X-Acto knife as well. So I will make sure to put the link of this down in the when I post a clip of a clip of this video for you. So let's see. So now I actually need to move my camera. I'm gonna have to pause my live for a second and move my camera over to this section because I'm gonna lay this fabric out on the table and I'm going to do an example of either a sleeve or a circle skirt or something like that with this material because I just want you to see it's not hard to cut the fabric. It's like all you need is a pattern and just to do it. So I'm going to do that in just a second, but I do want to show you that I have more patterns, right? So the patterns that I showed y'all are female patterns. I took my husband's work shirt and I cut it up. When you cut up a garment that you already got, you got patterns, right? So I got a short sleeve man's shirt. A man's short sleeve. I have a collar. And y'all, when y'all cut up material and stuff like that to use, make sure y'all keep them buttons. Throw those buttons inside of a container because you never know what you can use those buttons for or when you can use them, okay? So I have that. I actually have a long sleeve, a man's long sleeve. I have the right panel, the front panel of his shirt. I only cut one side because when I get to making the left side, all I'm going to do is just flip it over. Boom. The left and the right. And when you're making a full shirt that's completely like not cut in the middle, not like a button-up blouse or whatever, all you got to do, you're going to centerfold that material before you make your cut. And when you make your cut, your sleeve, your section for your armpits is going to be in the exact place it needs to be. And then I have the back panel. Now, the back I did not cut in half because I was just like, shoot, it's a full back. I'm straight. I'm just going to use this. Because I honestly could have just taken that front panel and used it for the back as well. However, because it had a collar and it went down like this, I felt that it was safe to just go ahead and keep the full back panel of his old work shirt. So I just wanted to show y'all that. So these are patterns. So don't let nobody tell you that old clothes, you can't do no with old clothes, especially if you're a seamstress. You can refurbish them and make something else, or you can take them and use them for patterns. Okay? All right. So I'm going to pause this live so I can move the camera over here because I'm going to cut this fabric and I want y'all to just see the process. Super easy. Okay? So give me 1 second. If I can remember how to pause this. Pause. Okay. Okay, y'all, I'm back. So I'm kind of over to the side, but I want to make sure that y'all can see me, or at least see what's being done on the table, not necessarily see me, because I'm not the important thing. Like us learning is most important. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my fabric scissors. I got my fabric laid out on my table. Now, this table I got from Joann's. It has sewing machine storage. It has a little storage cabinet on the side for you to put something on the shelves, and it has a drawer. And this part lets out, this cabinet in the front, it lets out to where I can sit my sewing, like my smaller sewing machine on it, and actually sew right there. So it's got a sewing table as well as it's for uh, sorry, y'all. All right, got that over here. All right, so I'm gonna do the circle skirt pattern. So, and I think that's fairly easy because I can give y'all a better, I can give you a better view, understanding. Like I'm a visual learner, so I want to just show y'all how it works. I'm coming, y'all. So when I measured myself, I was a 35 waist, right? When I measured myself, I was 35. So first, before I even cut, I'm not gonna fold this because this is just practice pattern. But I just want to show you how the process goes with cutting for a circle skirt pattern. So where my marker is, when I need it, I can't find it. All right. So I got my permanent marker, and so I got my measuring tape. I usually keep my measuring tape on my neck just because I just like to keep it around my neck. So y'all forgive me. I want to find something that's got a little weight to it. Okay. Right. So I have my measuring tape. I'm going to tilt the camera down a little bit more so you can see. All right. Thank you, Bree. Hi, Chanel. So I'm going to come down to about 4 inches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And down here, when I get to 4, I'm going to just go ahead and make me a half circle, right? I'm going to do the same on this side. Let me know if I'm blocking the camera. Try my best not to. Y'all see that? So I got a half circle right here. Y'all can see that right there. So after I make my half circle, I'm going to take my measuring tape. I'm just going to put it right here to the side of my material. I'll have something to weigh it down. And I'm going to mark by inches on here, okay? So this is 1. This is 2. This is 3. 4. 5. Put a little dash on the side. 6. 7. 8. I'm going to stop at 10, okay? All right. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And while I'm numbering this fabric, after I number the fabric, I'm going to then grab my my measuring tape. I'm going to measure myself. Once I measure myself, then I know where to start at with my, I know I'm going to start at 6 inches because I already did the calculation. But I know where I'm going to start at, and I know that my circle should be like this. My half circle should be like this. So that when I do fold my fabric and I'm about to cut my fabric, then I'll end up with a full circle skirt. So let me get this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now I got 10. So now I'm gonna measure myself one more time. Okay, 35. I know I'm over in the corner, but I'm gonna show you it's 35 right here. I'm doing my best to show you. It's 35 right there. So I'm gonna get my calculator. Get my calculator. I'm going to do 35 divided by 6.28. 6.28 is the radius of a circle. So that's why we're doing, I lost about a 0.4 inches. Okay, so we at 5.57. So technically I'm gonna round it up to 6 because I need to make sure I'm leaving room for seam allowance anyway. So when I get ready to cut, I'm using the inches on my measuring tape. I know that I need to be at a 6. So when I start cutting at 6, I want to cut around just like that. And if I had my chalk, I would do it with my chalk, but I don't, but that's all right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my weight back on top of my measuring tape, and then I'm going to start at 6, and I'm going to move this baby around. Ooh, I know I'm not trying to get sick because I sure feel like. You can make a dotted line if you want to. It's totally up to you. But you want to make sure it's not doing too good as a weight. That sucks. Okay. Come on down. There we go. So once you get you something to weigh down your material. Come on, don't move, baby. This is kind of getting on my nerves, so I'm just going to wing it on my circle. All right. So now I got a curve around my material, so for me to make my circle. If I had if this fabric were just say connected, like if I was using a pattern to cut all of my material to make a full circle skirt, I would. I would definitely have a full circle skirt when I cut it, but right now I'm not gonna have one because I'm not using it to cut a full pattern. So as you see what I'm doing now, I'm folding my fabric in half. I got my 6 right here, got my 6 right here. So now I just need to cut the curve, the dotted lines. And that's why I hate I don't have the chalk to do this, but it's okay. If I had gone ahead and brought down my gone ahead and cut this out, I would have already had my round circle from the top corner because I could do just like this to cut my circle pattern. But because it's not full fabric and I didn't go down long enough, far enough, we're not gonna have a full circle skirt. But that's the process to make it a circle skirt. It's not hard at all, like not hard at all. You just gotta know what the measurements are, which is very important. Just know your measurements, and then once you get your measurements, you good. All you do is just come down to the waist, the 6. Like for me, the 35. 35 was the inches for my waist. I divided it by 6.28, and then I went down to 6 on my circle skirt, and I cut. So if this had been a full pattern, once again, if this had been a full fabric, once again, I would have definitely been able to. I would have definitely been able to have a full circle skirt, and I ain't gonna lie. I thought about using this today to make it, but it wouldn't even be long enough if I were to make a circle skirt. Well, it would be, but we'll probably do it tomorrow then. I don't know. We'll see. But it's so simple. Sewing is not hard. Making a pattern, having a pattern, creating a pattern is not hard. It's just all about the mindset. You just don't put so much pressure on yourself to be in a rush to get it done. Because then once you allow yourself to start rushing, then that's when you mess up. That's when the mistakes happen. You can't rush the process, because if you rush the process, then you might as well just expect to have some unexpected events to happen. See, I just went ahead and cut the bottom of this material, and see that? That's just half of the circle. So if I had, just imagine if I had all the material, I would have a full circle skirt. But because I'm working with just a limited supply of material today, I just gotta use what I got, right? But yeah, this is the start of a circle skirt. So whenever I get to this fabric stuff, so I can get some material, so I can keep teaching, and we can start doing some stuff together, then I promise you guys I will. But now I'm going to go ahead and cut the back pocket. So with the back pocket, I just laid the sorry about that. With a back pocket, I just lay the pocket shape onto my material. And this is for when you cutting your own patterns, like super easy. But when you are cutting your fabric to make something, make sure you add in a couple inches on each side so that you'll have that same amount. You want to leave room for error. So now I'm cutting out the shape of a pocket. I got my pocket right here, the front of the pocket, and if I want to do two, I just take it and double. I could have honestly folded this and made two pockets. But for the sake of demonstration, I'm gonna just go ahead and just cut another pocket.